So in this short video, I'm going to show you why I've got a CRP-5W and why I think you should get one as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can use the CRP-5 to save you a heap of time in your G-NAV exam and why I think you should get one. So I've picked a simple problem here from AV exam as it happens, and this is in this particular one we're looking for the wind velocity. So these are always a little bit tricky, and I don't know about you, but when I started out with the CRP-5, I couldn't figure out where do I put the grommet, where do I start, and you've got all this messing around trying to work, to put the wind vector on, or to put the to put the whatever variable you needed to plot on here. I was getting confused all the time. With the CRP-5W, you don't have that issue. So I gone to my instructor saying, look, I'm really having an issue remembering, do I put the grommet above, do I put the grommet below, what am I doing? And he says, he says, like, you need to get the one with the Windarm, because it's really, you have to try quite hard to get questions wrong when you're using one of these. So let's look at this problem here. And maybe you want to start the timer, see how long it takes me to do this, and compare, and maybe get your CRP-5 if you've got one, and see how long it takes you to do it. All right, so we're going to start from now. So what we have a heading of 229, we have track of 239, so we know we've got a right drift, and we've been given the TAS and the ground speed. Okay, so I already have my high speed side on here. We want to set the TAS of 555, so 500, 550 and a bit, so there you go, sort of 555 there. We're looking for, we've got a heading of 229, so we set that as normal, 229. Now we're looking for a right drift of 10 degrees, and we're looking for a ground speed of 557. I'm using a high speed side. Now the Windarm has got low, you use different sides of the Windarm depending whether you're using low or high speed. So I'm going to put, so I'm looking for high speed. We don't know what the wind speed is, that's what we're looking for. But we do know that the track is at 10 degrees right drift. And we know that we're looking for a ground speed of 577, which is, what, somewhere around there, I'd say. I don't even bother usually even marking it, because normally the answers you're given are pretty close. So 229, put that to, there's 570, there's about 570. So I'm looking for an answer of somewhere around 132-ish with 100 knots. Do we have an answer like that? Well, we do. We have 130 degrees and 100 knots. If I click on that, and we know that we've got the question right because it's gone next. So I'm not sure how long that took me, and it obviously took me a little longer because I'm also explaining to you how the CRP-5W works. But you see how quickly I could get to it, and there's no way of me making a mistake. Let's look for another question. So here we go. We have a heading of 2 degrees, track 353, TAS and ground speed. So it's the same kind of deal again. Switch to the low speed side. Let's put TAS of 130. There's your 130. We need a heading of 2 degrees. So put 2 degrees up at the top here. This time they're giving it to us in true, which is nice, so we don't need to do any calculations other than what is the drift, which we know is 9 degrees to the left, and we're going to be looking for a ground speed of 132. So 9 degrees is going to be somewhere around here, and low speed side this time, and we are looking for, so we're looking for 132, somewhere around there, I'd say. So this is, so the wind is blowing that way, and it's coming from over here. So we're looking for an answer that's something like 090 and what, 22-ish knots. What have we got? So, well, we've got 0, let's just double check that. So I'd say it's probably 92 and 20 knots. And there we have, and it's the correct answer. And the good thing is, not only did I find the answer correctly, don't forget I've not had to draw anything on here and rub it out. So in G-NAV, it's all about timing and how much timing you've got, how much time you've got to spare. So this saves you tons and tons of times. Okay, so I showed you a question where you are actually looking to get the wind vector and the wind velocity, and I'm going to show you a question now which where I'm given the task, I'm given the heading, I'm given the wind, but I need to work out what the drift angle and the ground speed is. Alright, so on this one we've got 472 knots, and so we know it's the high speed side, so I'm going to quickly flip this over. So start your stopwatch now, see how quick I can do this. 472, there's 472 roughly, your TAS. Put the heading of 105, it happened to be up there, that's I wasn't cheating, it just happened to be there. Wind vector, high speed side is coming from 110 and 50 knots, so we'll put the 110 over here, so you put the tail on 110, we know it's 50 knots, so we're looking for an answer is around about a 6 degree left drift and about 50 knots. Do we have a 6, sorry, and about so we're looking for the ground speed, my apologies, so we're looking for, if it's around 6 degrees, we're looking probably around 480, 490. Let's see, well I don't have a 4, I thought it was about 480, but we're more like 490, so let me just double check that I've got the wind vector correct, 005. So, but we know that it's left, and there's only one answer here which has a value close to that, so I'm going to say it's 6 left, 490 knots, so we know that's correct. And here's one more, TAS 90, so we're low speed side, flip that over, put it on 90, heading of 355, wind vector is 120, so we happen to be there, we know we're using a low speed side, so I have to flip it over. So 120, we're looking at 20 knots of wind, so we're looking at sort of a 9-ish left drift on 355, so we're talking about 346, a track of 346 and about 102 knots. So what have we got? Well, we go, we've got 346 and 102 knots. We have an answer. So as you can see, it's super quick, and again, saves you time. You don't have to, rub your scribbles out, and it's very fast to use. So there you go. That is basically the CRP-5W. So you're probably wondering, like, how much does this thing cost? Well, turns out there's almost no price difference whatsoever between the CRP-5 and CRP-5W. So if you go to Poolies, which is where I bought mine, you can see that the regular CRP-5 is £64.16 without VAT now. We all pay VAT unless you're a business, but basically £77 without the Windarm, and it's £79 with the Windarm, right? So it's a complete no-brainer to get this one. I mean, why wouldn't you get this? Why wouldn't you get this? It's going to save you so much time in the exams, and could save you money, because if it saves you, 10 minutes, and it could well save you 10 minutes. When I've been going head-to-head with people, showing them how quickly I can do the calculations on the CRP-5W, it takes them a minute and a half, sometimes minute and 3/4, and I'm doing it in, say, 30 seconds. You get 10 of those questions. That's that's between 10 and 15 minutes that you're saving, and that could cost you. I mean, if you don't finish your exam, which when I first took my exam, I didn't complete my exam for different kind of reasons, because I was well, firstly, I didn't actually have any. I was unlucky enough to have CRP-5 questions where I couldn't somehow do those kind of calculations. I was a bit flustered and I was tired, I didn't sleep. But this time around, when I took the reset, you know, it was a breeze. I was just cranking through those questions really quickly. So hopefully that helps you decide. Oh, by the way, if you want to, they also sell, you see here, for £100, they sell the CRP-5 flight computer with the DVD as well. If you really need, I did buy that. I didn't see much about the CRP-5W itself on there. So if you're just struggling generally with CRP-5, then get it with the DVD instruction. Otherwise, you really don't need it. Once you've got the one with the Windarm, you can't go wrong. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.